We'll get to some questions in just a moment. We'll begin with the series host, the London Knights, who host Game One at Canada Life Place tomorrow night, Friday night. The Knights, of course, coming off an OHL championship last year, won yet another Midwest Division title, and they're coming off two consecutive series sweeps. We'll begin with you, Coach Dale Hunter. You know, tough for your team to play much better than they have been right now. How do you keep that momentum going after a few days off here?
Yeah, you got a few days off. When you play a couple rounds of, there's lots of bumps and bruises, and get some time to heal up and just try to run good practices. And
Denver, it feels like it was just last week that we were here 2 years ago getting ready for the West Final against Sarnia. With a lot of the guys, in your room, were part of that 2 years ago. Been almost like a bit of a team of destiny here, coming up a game short with the Memorial Cup last year. Feel like there's a little bit of unfinished business for your group coming into this series.
Yeah, obviously, last year it sucked to lose in the final game, the last final seconds. So, kind of chip on our shoulder mentality, and we're kind of just focused on round by round right now. But obviously, down the road, we'll remember that.
Just transition to the Kitchen Rangers and head coach Jussi Ahokas. Of course, you've voiced how proud you are of your team this year. One of the viral clips has been pretty good for a rebuilding season. Based off the success that you had with an 100-point season, coming off a thrilling Game 7 win the other night. Is it a mental obstacle at all to know that London's fresh coming off a sweep, whereas you guys have come in off a 7-game series, and how do you prepare your team for that?
Well, of course, the series starts fast, and of course, London they've been able to rest, but it's also good. We played. We had a tough series against so regular season number 2 and number 3 was playing against each other, so it was a tough series all in all. But I thought it built a lot coming back from 3-0 to win four in a row. So got a lot of momentum on that, but we're ready. We got a good day off, and today a little bit practice, and then ready to go tomorrow. It'll be a good series.
The Knights and the Rangers, of course, have had a lot of playoff clashes in the history of this league. It's the first Western Conference final clash of the two teams since 2012. Matthew Andonovski, you get the captain of the Rangers into this series. How proud are you of your team, the way you've battled through these playoffs? And I'm sure, having faced the Knights a number of times this season, you're prepared for what's in front of you.
Yeah, it feels like every year we've kind of faced these guys in the playoffs. So we know what to expect and what they bring. Super proud of the group and kind of the adversity we faced this year. So, we're all excited for the upcoming series.
We'll open it up to questions now. Again, use the raise hand function at the lower menu of the Zoom interface. We'll begin with Ryan Pyette from the London Free Press today. And Ryan, you can go ahead.
You see, the London Knights core seems to be driven by that loss in Saginaw last year in the Memorial Cup final. What's driving your returning group?
Of course, every year is a new year, and I think we've been building the whole year, just getting better, going day by day, getting better, and just all in all, like, we want to win. Of course, every team wants to win, but I can't really find a thing like something like losing Mem Cup final or whatever. We have such a big difference in our team than last year, even though we're building. So it's new group, and we want to play for each other. So that's the thing.
Dale, the Rangers play a very tight game, good defensively, good goaltender. How much do you respect the way they play, knowing the way you want to play defense, and what are you going to do to break through it?
No, it's been tight games all year long. Both teams are structured, and they have their systems, we have ours, and that's why it's going to be a good series.
We will transition now to Brandon Caputo of the Armchair GM's Sports Network. Brandon, you can go ahead.
My first question's for Coach Ahokas. Coach, what has the addition of Andrew Vermeulen been to your team? Obviously, he came over from Niagara at the beginning of the year for a mid-round draft pick, but it seems like he's really elevated his game for your team and been playing a good shutdown role for you in the playoffs as well. And it chipped in with a career high in goals as well. So can you speak to what Andrew Vermeulen's brought to your room?
Well, Worm's a good two-way guy. I thought he's really progressed during this year, and he has good hockey smarts, and he can play a good two-way game. But also, he has offensive ability. So I think it was a really good ad for our hockey team.
One for Captain Denver Barkey. Denver, being the captain, you see these guys on a day-to-day basis in and outside the room. Sam Dickinson, newly named the OHL Defenseman of the Year. He was a San Jose Sharks Prospect of the Year as well. What have you seen from the development of Sam Dickinson as an overall defenseman, over his 2 years there, and 2.5 years there in London, and playing big-time minutes for your team in all situations? From your perspective, how much is it fun to see, Sam really elevate his game to another level here?
Yeah, it was cool. Kind of when he first came in, he was a highly touted prospect, and kind of wanted to see what he's all about. And he turned a lot of heads in his 16 year, and ever since he's improved year by year. So, it was special to watch the year that he had this year. And someone like that, he's super hardworking, and he deserves it. So, super proud of a guy like that.
Thanks, Brandon. No other questions in the queue at the moment. I just had one off the top of my head. This one's for Matthew, of course. You kind of have the privilege of being an Ottawa Senators prospect, just like Luke Ellenis, who, if for those watching the other night, came through with another big goal for your team. What is it about Luke's game that makes him a special player? Obviously, he scored a series clincher for you guys last spring as well.
Yeah, no, he's a difference maker. Brings a lot to the table. Good offensive, but brings a little bit of physicality, and is good in the zone as well. So he brings an all-around game, and brings a spark when we need it, but also can score big time goals like we saw last series. So yeah, he's a really big difference maker for our team.
And likewise with Denver, kind of a teammate-driven question for you. Obviously, a lot of chemistry over the years with Easton Cowan. There's guys who go on to play long careers in the NHL who think back fondly of the chemistry they developed with a guy in junior that maybe they never play with again. How special has it been to have that kind of bond with another player?
Yeah, it's been cool ever since we were 16. We've kind of been, best friends, and we stayed together, played on a line together. So, it's been cool to build that friendship. That's kind of the beauty of hockey. Sometimes, you might build some lifelong friendships. So to watch each other grow and stuff like that, the NHL draft, it's been a surreal experience. And, we're just trying to, make the most of, our last year together.
Thanks, Denver. Circling back to Ryan Pyette with the London Free Press now. I know, Ryan, you mentioned something about the raise hand function not always working for you, so I'm going to roll the dice here. Ryan, you're live.
Matthew, you see with the Knights, they got big names like Bonk and Dickinson and Allen on their back end. You guys maybe an unsung group, but very effective. What makes you guys so effective at the back end?
We all buy into our systems. We all play with a bunch of heart, and we play for each other on the back end. We're willing to do whatever it takes to win a hockey game in the back end. So I think that's what's been helping us kind of get close as a group, as a decor this season.
Okay, and Denver, you faced checking lines and top lines since you're 17. I'm sure UC will throw something at you at your group. How do you keep scoring and producing when you've got guys trying to blanket you guys?
I think just stick to the systems, stick to what's been working for us. I think the big thing about my line specifically, I think we have hockey smarts, but I think we compete hard for pucks and strip pucks and get in on the forecheck and cause turnovers. So I think we're just looking to kind of continue to do that, and if not, adjust and plan for the next games.
You see, I saw something with Sean Ferfaro from a couple months ago on Rogers TV where he's playing a word game with you, and he said London Knights, and you said no comment. Do you faced this team for 2 years? You see their success. How big would it be for you guys to beat them?
I guess what I've heard now, coming as a fan to Kitchener, and there's been the rivalry going on for quite a while. What I've heard, so of course, I think it'd be huge. They won the regular season, and they won last year, so of course it would be huge. We can win them.
We'll go back to Brandon Caputo one more time here. Brandon, you can go ahead.
just had one quick question for Coach Dale Hunter. Coach, how big was it getting a guy like Casper Haltonen back this season? Could have been up in pro hockey with the San Jose Barracuda. He's got that wicked one-timer, reminiscent of a guy that you coached in Washington with Alex Ovechkin, pro-ready shot. What has been him coming back to this group and the dynamic that he's brought just for the depth of your team?
No, he's been good. Like last year, he scored a lot of big goals for us, regular season, playoffs, and this season again, he scored. When he eventually came back, he scored a lot of big goals again. So he's a force out there with a big body and a big shot, and you need players like that in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon. Conclude this, I'd like to thank you guys for hopping on this afternoon, taking a little bit of time, and for those on the call, thanks for joining, and some of you just listening in. Look forward to seeing everybody at the rink tomorrow night in London, Game 1 of the Western Conference Championship Series.